from 80 to 90 centimeters. Every exercise with a hoop has to have the body difficulty along with apparatus technical elements, risks, dynamic rotation elements, apparatus difficulties, combination of dense steps. Exercises with hoops has to have in it all four body difficulties in equal volume, balances, pivots, jumps, and flexibility elements. The final score for this exercise is a sum of body and apparatus difficulty, artistry, execution. Maximum number of body elements at Divine Grace is unlimited. So, ladies and gentlemen, we invite the first contestant, Karina Kamenetskaya, Canada.
Please welcome the first participant of our tournament, Karin Kamenetsky, representing Canada.
Hello, dear friends. We'll be joined by our commentators, five-time Europe champion of the world, and silver medalist of the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, Yana Batyrshina. And we're gladly introduced to the second expert, distinguished master of sports, coach of ESR in Russia, holder of the Europe Cup, Marina. Hello. Also, with us we have distinguished master of sports, sport commentator. Thank you very much, Yana. We see the first participant of the tournament, Karina, who starts her performance. Let's take a look at her hoop elements. She is a young gymnast. She is 14. She was born in Israel in the family of immigrants from USSR. Her father comes from Moldavia and her mother was born in Belarus, and we can say that this tournament, Divine Grace, is the first tournament for Karina in Russia, and instantly we get this highest level.
Karina Kamenetskaya.
She's so young. How Marina, what do you think about her performance? Well, she did a nice job. She's opening this marvelous tournament, and I would like to speak a little bit more about the format of our tournament. It's a unique competition. It's a wonderful show that popularizes our sports, shows its unlimited possibilities, and also the regulations that we have here today are also unique. We have elements, body elements that the athletes demonstrate are judged according to the regulations of 2001-2005. The apparatus elements and artistry will be judged according to the next Olympic cycle. This is a unique combination as well. What is probably the biggest difference of our tournament is that the choice of the elements of the body as apparatus as well is not limited. The athletes can show everything she's capable of. Yes, and actually before the beginning of the tournament, when the ideas of the when Alina explained to us her ideas, why do we need now? Why does today the International Federation limit the amount of elements, while the athletes could show better elements, make the program more interesting, and you as well, Jana, when you performed. Today, everybody can show their best. They can show their programs, their routines. Yes, you are absolutely right. For development of these sports, we should not limit. We should not set any rules, any special regulations. If an athlete can do 15 or 20 elements, why should we put any borders and tell her to do only 9? This is actually this Olympic idea. The one who is the best, the one who did the most complicated program will become the champion. Why do we actually put this medium level on everybody? Actually, the idea of this tournament is also to show to the International Federation of Gymnastics that this is the way our performance could be. They can be so different. The performances can be absolutely unique and different. Yes, this is actually the idea of our first experimental international tournament, and now we're waiting for the score of for Karina. Well, actually, she must be extremely nervous. Such a great tournament, and she's opening it. Let's also speak about the way to prepare psychologically for such a performance. And the next participant is already on stage from Hungary, Sofia Bernard. Yes, Sofia is 15. She's a junior. She's born in Budapest, but her mother is of Russian origin. She's also a coach, and she's coaching her daughter. And Sofia is a Hungary champion, junior, in 2019. Besides the body elements that in our tournament are also in every routine for every apparatus are special. So we see in the hoop performance, the athletes must perform all 4 groups of elements in the same amount, like jumps and balance and pivots, and also the athletes must perform all the elements in connection with the apparatus. There are fundamental groups for each apparatus. So for hoop, it's roll and pivot, and pivoting the hoop on the hand, and the athletes show us all these apparatus elements, and also all difficulties. Sofia finished her performance. Karina Kamenetskaya got 26.15 for her performance. And what we would like to mention here, yes, she's also very young, 15. And you will also have no restrictions according to the age. Yes, what is very important for our tournament, besides all the regulations that we spoke about already, we have here juniors with seniors together, so it's like a 13-year-old could compete against a 21-year-old. We will see it in our tournament here. And this is also not easy. So this is kind of a unique combination of young age and experience. And the judge, who is also responsible for artistry, she is a great coach. She lives in Hungary, and she also coaches there. And Irina is part of our high judges today. And she has great experience of international judging. So all the champions we saw today here on the carpet, all the champions from Russia and from all the countries around the world, she's been judging them. So,
30,3 бала. The total score for Sofia Bernard, Hungary, 30.3. Приглашается Николь Красюк, Ukraine. Please welcome Nicole Krasuk
So
from Ukraine.
30.3 got Sofia for her first routine with the hoop. And now we see athlete from Ukraine. She's a senior. She's from Kharkiv. Is part of the national team of Ukraine, and she's also Ukrainian champion 2019. Let's watch what a nice red suit she has. By the way, Ukrainian athletes, they like to dress in such jumpsuits. It is not prohibited by the rules. No. At my time, in mid-90s, it was allowed to wear suits like that. Did you also wear something like that? Yes, but they were not so lovely. I was one of the first to wear them because it's like they make your legs longer, and what is actually quite important for an athlete in gymnastics. But with some apparatus, it's not easy to perform in such a suit because you make a lot of rolls. But for hoop, it's quite comfortable. By now, she's doing fine, right? Well, there are some little mistakes, but we will discuss them. I would like to add, as far as the regulations of our tournament, according to the rules, it is allowed to make combined elements that consist of different isolated elements, like combining a leap with a pirouette or a balance element with some other element. There are some restrictions in the existing rules that there should be not more than 3 combined elements in per routine. But in our tournament, there is no limit. An athlete is allowed to do as many combined elements as she wants, and the price of the element can also get higher because the combinations are also evaluated. I think we'll see a lot of very interesting combined elements because. Of course, the athletes put together their routines to participate in this tournament. This is actually great when there are no limitations. I also think that the score will be quite high. Yes, we just saw now an element with the pivots that Nicole didn't manage to do. The first part of it was okay, but the second not, so it will not be added to the score. Yes, she could not make the leg, and she could not show the form of this element. Julia Tushkevich is the coach of Nicole, and she also. She's probably she's also a designer, and maybe it is her doing this wonderful suit that she's wearing. What do you think? Does it make the whole performance more spectacular? All those sparkles, etc. Well, I really like her suit, and there is nothing to add and nothing too much. Sometimes there are some suits with too much sparkle, so it just you're just watching a lovely suit, but you don't see the athlete as such. She gets lost behind.
The total score for Nicole Krasuk, Ukraine, 29.5.
Okay, so 29.5 is Nicole's score. She's the second, and now we see the representative of Italy, Martina Brambilla. Yes, this is quite an experienced athlete. She's 19. She's part of the national team, and she's also Italy champion in team tournament.
This world is not meant for you. Run, boy, run. They're trying to catch you. Run, boy, run. Running is a victory. Run, boy, run.
A very interesting athlete, as far as I think. Her plastics, her performance, she chooses interesting musical compositions, and the way she uses elements. We will talk a lot about compositions, of the evaluation of compositions. But she has very interesting combinations, everything according to the music, but unfortunately she lost the apparatus, and it's a bad thing, really. So yes, she lost with 2 steps, and the way to catch the apparatus is a very interesting. Behind her back, I didn't see that, and actually you really see how experienced she is, how sure. Italian school is actually very strong. Yes, it's traditional. They're very strong in team performance, but also in individual program. They became, yes, actually in the last World Championship in Japan, Italian athletes also got some medals. She finished her routine. It was a very interesting one. She has interesting hobbies. She plays soccer, and I know that her mother is ice skater. And who's this Italian who is not fond of soccer, right? But actually, her father used to play, and that's why she also likes these sports. Well, I read that her father actually, he played football as a child, but then she became a firefighter. Well, probably it's just in Italian blood to be football fans. And here we see, well, from my male point of view, I would like to discuss their appearance, and I see that she has a little skirt. Alina used to make this fashion, this little skirts, right? Yes, yes. At that moment, she was in the International Gymnastics Committee, and all these stones and all these little skirts were her initiative, and I think it made our sports much more fascinating. The next participant is from Kazakhstan, Rosa Abitova. Another hoop routine. She's very lovely. She's from Shymkent, 18 years old, is part of the national team, is training in Aliya Yusupova school, a legendary Kazakh athlete. I think I would say she's one of the best. She participated in 2 Olympics. She was the 4th in Athens, and in Beijing the 5th. Well, actually, of course, she was multiple times Kazakh champion, and now she's leading the national team. And at her time, she spent a lot of time in Moscow. She trained here with Russian coaches. Rosa has just wonderful background, and she looks so self-sure on the carpet. All the elements. What a pity! That was a big mistake. Unfortunately, she reached the hoop. She was supposed to catch it on her leg without using her hands, and the hoop is actually quite a complicated apparatus. If you lose it, well, actually, it's quite complicated with all the apparatus. Well, if you lose the curb, it just falls next to you, but the hoop just rolls away from you. It's a pity. It's just such a wonderful athlete, and you could just feel her high class, the school, so to say, the Soviet school. But well, yes. She has so many medals in junior competitions. She's international master of sports, but well, there will be more performances with other apparatus. So I'm sure she will just do everything else fine. And well. Now, what can I do now if I have lost the apparatus? What do I do with my nerves? Just forget everything that happens. Just don't think. Just start from the very beginning again. And the coach, of course, must help and tell her some right words. Every coach has his or her own approach. So maybe somebody should be calmed down very gently. Yes, 28-65.
Please welcome Natalia Usova, representing Uzbekistan.
And the next participant is from Uzbekistan, Natalia Usova. Well, actually, she's the youngest athlete. She's 13. Although you can see how tall she is, lovely, she looks older than her age. And she begins so self-sure. She was born in Tashkent, but probably many gymnastics fans know that I'm also from Tashkent. This is my hometown, and she's part of the junior national team. The champion of Uzbekistan of the junior tournament. She has wonderful background. She's so young, but still she does almost perfect all the elements. There was a little mistake when catching the apparatus, but a lovely leap. We see that she has great potential. She's not afraid of complicated elements. She's so sure for her young age. She looks so calm on the carpet. Yes, yeah, but she managed it. It's okay. A little bit, but she managed to keep the form and the balance when working with the apparatus. But she managed to keep her balance. But that was a big mistake now.
Natalia
Yes,
Usova.
despite that she's only 13, she looks amazingly adult, and the music she chose is not a children tune, but unfortunately there were some mistakes, but still this is the first tournament. She is so young. Actually, she was the first with hoop in your tournament, right? Yes, she participated in my tournament, and she was the champion there. And also in 2017, but actually there were always strong athletes from Uzbekistan. Alina Kabayeva actually is from Uzbekistan, so and Irina Usmanova as well. She was leading the Uzbek national team and then moved to Russia. Of course, we're connected with Uzbekistan. And always there were wonderful athletes in Uzbekistan. And it is also so important that Irina, she helps Uzbek team, and they come to our base in Novogorsk, and she coaches their routines. She follows them. Yes, we will come back to this theme a lot, but now we can see that how nervous she is, that she didn't manage to do everything she wanted. So yes, of course there are some nerves, despite this is an experimental, but it's an international tournament. So yes, 28:55. She's the fifth, and
please welcome Alexandra Kiroi Bagatyryova, representing Australia.
the next representative is from Australia. She also has a very interesting history. She's 19. She's very experienced, part of the national team. Is a triple Australian Oceania champion of this year. And since July of this year, she's in Moscow because of the pandemic. She could not travel home, so she's here and is training here. And now she's participating in this tournament here, so it's quite a luck. And I think that for her it's an amazing experience to work together with Russian athletes, Russian coaches. I think this will only add to her experience and her artistry. She's been Australian champion for 21 times. But actually, she was born in New Zealand. She's quite an amazing story indeed. But she considered herself Russian. There are also some Russians in Australia, but she participated in world championships, and she has a lot of different biggest competitions. And now you did see a combined body difficulties. There were like three elements together. Well, that was not bad. It was lovely. You cannot see. Is she upset? She's not happy with her performance. You see. I think that she lacked a little bit energetics. She could be more sure in her plastics and in the emotional part, because actually, technically, she's a very strong athlete, but she had such emotional music, so maybe some dynamics, and maybe the artistry judges will also point it out that there was not enough artistry in her performance, because artistry is extremely important now, and I think it's it's great, because actually rhythmic gymnastics is kind of it's a show. We perform to music, and now we have extra judges who will evaluate the artistry, the musicality, the aesthetics, aesthetical proficiency, dynamics, the logics of the connections, so that there are no movements. Just to make it a real show. Well, this score is better, 30.20. She's the third at the moment. Well, now we will see Anna Kamenshikova. She's 18. She was born in Russia, in Nakhodka. And now she's part of the Belarus national team. And a multiple medalist of Belarus. The Belarusian school is very strong. They are our main concurrents. So in the last Olympics, Alina Gorgaskov from Belarus, she won the bronze, while in the World Championship of this year, she got the silver medal. Wonderful school. We always were very good friends with our colleagues from Belarus. She looks very sure. Good tempo, easiness. Yes, yes. It's kind of aggressive. Yes, this sound. This is this soundtrack, original soundtrack from the Gladiator movie. The musical part, does it influence the judges in some way, because they have some emotional reply coming from the athlete? I'm not competent artistry judge, because can it be that that the musical part somehow influences the judges? Yes, of course, the judges are supposed to be objective, but of course, if she performs very emotional, very sure, and very music with great musicality, that shows her proficiency, the easiness, the high tempo in her approach to the elements. Everything shows that as sure and as easy it looks, the more training she had to do. But she managed quite her routine. The music was fine. But as far as the combination of elements, she managed quite good.
Well, let's see the scores. It's clear that 32.55 is her score, and now she's first. She scores first. It's these are very high levels of performance. She got really high scores. Now the mat is joined by Ketevan Irishvili, athlete from Georgia. She's 18. She's also a member of her country's national team, champion of Georgia this year in absolute all-around and in all separate aspects. So she's the best gymnast in Georgia right now. Yes, she is, of course. We all who love rhythmic gymnastics. We remember the Georgian gymnast who finished her career this year, Salome Pajala. An amazing gymnast she was, who combined incredible mastery of the apparatus with the techniques of emotions, and now she would get really high scores for artistry. She had unique routines, and as I understand, the Georgian school of gymnastics has very strong choreographers where yes, this is the mistake she made. The program is created just like one in a theater, as though you are not watching a gymnastics competition, but you are instead observing a theater play. The audience always greeted Salome with a standing ovation, and it's really a good thing that Salome did not leave rhythmic gymnastics. She is now the vice president of the Georgian Gymnastics Federation. It's amazing when these professionals stay in sport. It always goes for the good to have these professionals with us. There was one loss of the apparatus, unfortunately, with Ketevan. So now the question is about the balance. Still, despite making a mistake in her performance, she finished it up with a smile, not too tired. Yes, this psychological mistake she was able to handle. It did not get her off the track. Well, lots of various sports now change rules for TV broadcasts, as we know, and of course would like to attract your attention to rhythmic gymnastics in this regards. It modernized, it formed in a way. We know that pivots were taken out, yes, and it's the jumping rope is one of the basic elements in rhythmic gymnastics, and now we only have jumping rope in junior group exercises. We really would like to believe that our tournament, because the idea was also to get the rope back to the tournament, we also hope that this tournament will be a traditional one, and it will be traditional in its novelties, maybe even getting something back, what was good before, something back from the previous time. Maybe we'll also see some jumping rope exercises. Yes, and it was taken out because the TV broadcasters were saying that it was too thin, it was not rotating, it was not visible on the mat. The TV also does not stand in one spot, and I think that there is an opportunity now to demonstrate it well. And now we'll take a look at Adelaida Mendoza Ramirez, a gymnast from Cuba, a very experienced gymnast. She's 21 years of age. She's, of course, a member of the national team of her home country. She's a participant of the World Cup in Baku, many times champion in individual all around. This is the World Cup where you were the ambassador. Yes, and it still is my favorite World Cup. Yes, and also the most charitable, the most welcome one, the most welcoming. And now we'll take a look at the performance, and of course I'd like to hear more about the ambassador role from you. What functions does it have? I'll gladly tell you. Now let's take a look at the performance of the Cuban athlete in front of us. She has an amazing outfit, something like a fur boa on one of her shoulders. It's tango. Yes. Of course, the selection of the outfit is also a long time creative process. In the beginning, you make up the performance, the composition, the gymnasts work with a coach, with a choreographer, and then they create this image, and only then creators of this outfit, having listened to the music and maybe also considering the exercises, it is still a very interesting process. Greta might also have some chance to become an ambassador of one of the World Cup. And now I get back to you. Can you please tell us how was that World Cup going on? What were the tasks set to you? And you know, I call it my farewell from rhythmic gymnastics. It happened this way. When I finished sports in 1998, usually the sportsmen who do something, they see retirement, but I haven't had any retirement farewell. I opened and closed tournaments and contests. I was awarding champions. I was participating workshops, master classes, and I gave autograph sessions, visited various charity funds, houses. I've also attended children training. It was amazing, just incredible. This was a week of pure joy. So much attention I hadn't had for quite a long time. So I'd like to once again express gratitude to head coach of Azerbaijan, Mariana Vassilieva, for this amazing offer to become ambassador. It's a huge honor, yes. And here we also have this amazing school of gymnastics and sports gymnastics, and as we know, Cuba, and Gretel, she trains in a rhythmic gymnastics school that follows the Olympic systems. And Cuban gymnasts, they do participate our Alina Festival that's annually held. Yes, it's true. Annually I also attend Alina festivals, and there are always Cuban gymnasts there. They do love this sports. It's an international festival, of course. They all love Alina also. So I think that they can agree to come here and to perform in this experimental tournament. I think that there will be also opportunities to meet you all here, to make some photos, because many people keep dreaming about it, of course. There are also athletes who perform at such a tournament for the first time. and not only to meet all the Olympic champions, not only Elina, to meet with them, to make an autograph, to talk to them. It's also a dream of mine, to be frank. I want to talk to and meet all the Olympic champions, to make some photo, to get their autographs. And here I've seen the composition of the honorary guests of the Olympic champions present at this tournament. Of course, to my surprise, there was no limits, and Greta's performance is a bit worse than some other athletes' performance. She is now 9th, 26.3, and we are waiting for the start of Pia Kovacic's performance. She represents Croatia. She's 14 years of age. She's a junior. She trains at the Galatia club, and the president and the coach of this club is our Russian specialist, Elena Bosych. Elena Bosych is from Krasnoyarsk. She is a coach, an Olympic coach of Svetlana Putintseva, European champion, and now she lives in Croatia. And this is her student. Pia started rhythmic gymnastics late. She was 9 years, so she's in rhythmic gymnastics for only 5 years. Lena yesterday shared her experience of Pia participating in this contest. She said that to us it is the Olympics, and to her, of course, even the participation itself in this contest is a colossal step forward, is a step forward, and she's just happy to be part of it. Unfortunately, there was a loss of apparatus, but unfortunately, despite her young age, she is the winner of the Croatian Junior European Championship in jumping rope, and following the results of this event, she became a member of her country's national team. She is a unique gymnast due to her hobbies and interests that she combines. How can we all mix it with rhythmic gymnastics? It's hard for me to understand. She graduated musical schools and piano. She plays chess. She is in maths, chemistry, and she also is a winner of various Olympiads on the subjects. And here she shows a good performance. Unfortunately, there was a loss of apparatus, but still the performance is done holistically. And Marina, I think it's more of a question to you, that you will comment on it now. Yes, we can see that she's young, she doesn't have lots of experience, but amazing talents, amazing, she's gifted. There are things to work on, there are things to strive to. There is this opportunity, and if she's that gifted, if she's that talented, if she has so many interests, then it's also about discipline. She's a very gifted gymnast, so I think her everything lies ahead of her. With the way Pia describes her, I'm a responsible, capacity and patient. These are the qualities that you need to become a champion. Yes, it is indeed true. These are the qualities necessary for rhythmic gymnastics, because rhythmic gymnastics, first of all, is sports. It's Olympic sports, and these qualities are needed and required. And on how you can combine it all, how you can mix everything that you've said. In our national team, we had the gymnast Luba Barikina, who was also a member of the national team. She graduated arts school, so she used to she used to paint. Besides, she also directed, and now she exhibits her paintings in various galleries. So we can say that a gifted person is gifted in everything. Yes, for sure. Next contestant is representative of Mexico, Marina Malpica. Yes, this is the oldest and the most experienced gymnast. Here she's 21 years of age, and she will be 22 in the beginning of next year. She is, of course, a member of Mexico's national team. She's participant of the 4 previous World Championships. She's the most experienced gymnast. She's 3-time champion of American Games and Caribbean Games in 2014.
Marina Malpika.
There was a set of difficult elements with the apparatus. From my point of view, there is some lacking of amplitude in body movements. I also lacked artistry. The composition, the music is amazing. It's very powerful. It's very strong, and I lacked some expression. I lacked some energy. The music was pushing to it, and I fully agree with what you said. The gymnasts find it sometimes hard to prepare to a new set of rules, to new code of points, because these are the code of points of 2001, 2005, and the new cycle that will only begin starting from next year. I thought that it was difficult because the format of the competition is very different from the existing ones, and the overall score was similar to preparing. So in terms of apparatus, they were preparing for the new Olympic cycle. In terms of body elements, they got back to 2001, 2005. It required significant preparation. Besides, yes, of course, these elements, they're different. They are way more different, and the selection is there. And each of the exercise has according body elements. You have to include more body elements to each of the elements. As of now, she scored second, and we're really glad to welcome Lana Kramarenko, our Russian gymnast, the main star of this tournament, our hope. Lala is 17 years. She has just turned 17, and already she's distinguished master of sports, two-time Europe championship this year, bronze prize in the world all around this year. World and Europe champion in juniors. In juniors, she won almost everything. Let's round for her. Wow, this long pivot, the beginning says it all. You can do nothing after it. This is indeed an application for greatness. Yes, Lala is a phenomenal athlete and gymnast. She can do it all. She combines it all. She's technically gifted. She's flexible. She has beauty of her body lines, the artistry. She looks amazing on the platform. She has this unique spins. Indeed, the unique spins. I don't know who else in the world does it. Bravo, Lala
Kramarenko.
Lala Kramarenko. Lala Kramarenko shows incredible performance. This is our hope at the Olympics that will take place in Paris. And we hear it from the reaction of the audience. Amazing start. Irina Wiener-Usmanova accompanies Lala to await the score. She's head coach of the Russian national team. Lisan Sabitska is Lala's personal coach. Lala started training with her since she was 7, so she started as a child from the very, very beginning. And Lisan, along with Irina Alexandrovna Wiener-Usmanova, were able to grow this unique athlete. Of course, there is a huge team of specialists who works with Lala. Choreographer is Irina Borisovna Zinovka, who worked on all her routines and programs. Irina Borisovna is a well-known specialist. She worked on the program of she worked on all the programs of Evgenia Kanaeva, Margarita Mamu, and one routine for Elena Kabaeva. She gets well-deserved first place, 36.65, a very high score that is indeed justified and well-deserved. Unique elements that Lala showed us. The tournament Divine Grace consists of 2 days, and now we're only in the middle of its first day. Let's take a look at the score at the tournament table. Malpika Marina from Mexico is third. Kamechka Vana from Belarus takes the second place, and Russia with Kramarenko Lala is first. Soon we'll see ball routines on the mat, and now we'll have a performance in front of us that will showcase that gymnastics is limitless and multifaceted. They can be